If only you had been in the studio while we had the debate from just before now about is Mazzino handsome or not, I'm sure you'd be on my side. And by the way, that was against the MM. So yes, you know what side of the fence you stand on. In any case, welcome. Let's talk diet. Today we have Uju Onuorah. She is a registered dietitian and also a health and wellness advocate with years of experience. Now she's a member of the Nutrition Society of Nigeria and an alumnus of the West African Academy of Public Health. This morning she will be talking about sugar replacers better than white sugar, dates, honey and coconut. I don't know what your preference is, but you are welcome, Uju. Good to have you here.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yes, I love your name. Is Mazzino handsome?
You're fairly good to look at.
That's not what I was expecting, but it's okay. I'll let you pass. In any case, so we're talking sugar replacers today.
Yeah.
I told you a story just before we started that in my house we have no sugar, and we don't have substitutes. So I'm concerned about if it's a healthy decision. My daughter did not know what sugar was until she was 3 years old, and even after giving her to try it, she did not like it. She's almost 6 now, and she's only beginning to acquire a taste for sugar. So is it harmful?
Not to take sugar.
Not to take sugar or any alternative?
It's not harmful not to. As long as you're basically taking your daily caloric needs, you're supplying your body with the right food it needs. Sugar in itself is just a part of food, but it's not necessarily a must that you must take sugar or dates or honey or coconut sugar, all the natural sugar replacements. It's not a must in itself, no.
Okay, so are there any benefits with these replacers themselves? Dates, for instance, honey, yuck, by the way. But are there any better benefits to them, to substituting them for sugar?
Okay, well, yes, there are, but I need us to understand that they are not in itself healthier than sugar, though popular beliefs think so. Now, when you, I think it's important I outline something here. There's something called caloric value of a food. So when you get 1 tablespoon of sugar, and then you get 1 tablespoon of honey, and then you get 1 tablespoon of date sugar. Now, this is it. 1 tablespoon of honey of sugar has about roughly 62 kilocal, 62 calories. Honey has 64 per tablespoon. And then you have your dates, which has 58, 59 thereabouts.
They're pretty much on the same
level.
Pretty much
on the same. You see. Now, but when you look at these 3 carefully, the differences are not much in the caloric value, right? But now, sugar, which is your commonly white refined sugar, doesn't really have nutrients, except, of course, it's a fortified sugar. That's a brand that fortified their sugar before putting it out there. Honey, on the other hand, doesn't also have much traces, just has about a few traces of vitamins and minerals, but has a very, very good amount of what we call antioxidants. Yeah. Now, antioxidants actually help in the body to fight inflammation. It's also good to help reduce, it actually helps, sufficient intake of foods that contain antioxidants help reduce, or rather, should I say, prevent the occurrence of diabetes, cancer, and some heart disease. Okay. Sufficient intake. Okay. Now, but that's not to say that honey, anyway, helps cure diabetes. Yeah, no.
Can too much of honey cause a problem for me if I am diabetic, for instance? Could it cause diabetes?
Yes, it's possible. Yes.
Oh, I wish my friends were here. I had this argument with them. They said no.
It's possible because there's something called glycemic index. Now, GI, glycemic index, is a measure of how fast a food shoots up a blood sugar. Okay. Now, every food, every carbohydrate food or sugar-containing food has a GI. GIs are usually rated from 0 to 100. Okay. Now, sugar has a higher GI, glycemic index. That's your white refined sugar has a higher glycemic index than honey. But the differences are not really much. Okay. So that's why, in answer to your question, I said yes. Now, a glycemic index of sugar is about 62. Then honey is about 58. Okay. So check.
It's within the same range. Check it.
So it's not really different.
When we deceive ourselves that we're subtracting sugar from our diet, there are other sources that are not necessarily sweet. For instance, some people say, oh, I'm trying to live healthy, I don't take sugar, but they drink beer. So I hear that beer's got plenty of sugar in it. Tell us about that, please.
Beer has plenty of sugar in it because already the hops and barleys and everything that is used to make it, actually, they are very bitter. If they don't put sugar in beers, I don't know, I doubt people will actually be taking it. And I think I, for one, do not like beer because it actually has this bitter taste for me. Still. So just imagine a scenario where there was no added sugar inside. So there's actually a very huge amount of added sugar in beer, contrary to popular beliefs, just to tone down, if I would use the word, tone down that bitterness.
Okay.
So it's actually shortchanging. An individual is actually shortchanging themselves if they say, oh, I'm taking beer, I'm not taking carbonated drinks.
Yeah.
Because they think, oh, carbonated drinks is very obvious. It has sugar.
Yeah.
It tastes sweet.
Yeah.
So it's just basically shortchanging yourself.
So, as a matter of fact, there might be even more sugar in beer than there is in the same quantity of carbonated soda.
If not more.
If not more.
To tone down that bitter taste that it has as a result of the hops, barley, and everything that is used to make it.
So say one was to subtract absolutely all of these alternatives for sugar. Would I still lead a healthy life then? And I mean absolutely. No beer, no sugar, no honey, no dates, no whatever. What is saccharine, by the way? Is that sugar? Saccharine. I'm not sure. I think it might be. Well, if I'm subtracting all of these, would I still be healthy?
Yes, you'll still be healthy, but there's something I want to point out. You shouldn't subtract something out of food fear. You should come from a place of, okay, maybe I do not like the taste, or maybe I do not like the smell or flavor, but it shouldn't be, because, sugar is not healthy. No, sugar is actually healthy. There's nothing wrong with sugar. It actually helps give you glucose, which your body uses for a couple of functions, things, activities in the body.
Okay.
So, but it's all about moderation. Now, remember, I gave an example. I talk. It's all about moderation because here is it. Let's say Mr. A, you have Mr. A, Mr. B. Mr. B gets loves to use honey because, well, he assumes that it's healthy. And Mr. A is just a sugar lover, possibly, right? Then they get 2 cups of tea or whatever. And then Mr. A uses 1 tablespoon of sugar. Then Mr. B, on the other hand, uses about 2 tablespoons of honey because, well, he assumes it's more healthier.
Yeah.
But guess what?
What?
Those 2 tablespoons is even more than 1 tablespoon of sugar.
Wow. It's a very interesting revelation you're giving us here, Uju, and really appreciate this. Now, one last thing is I do love ice cream, so I guess I'm not out of the clear because ice cream is actually one of my biggest favorites. So, yeah, I do consume sugar in one way or the other.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Uju. We do appreciate the fact that you're here to enlighten us on this. Hey, you should do alternatives. If you don't like the sugar, there's plenty more, and it's all healthy in any case. Just be moderate about your use and make sure that you are, taking your health into consideration. Don't overdo it. There are other fears. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you.